What's up, guys? It's Nick True here, and today we're going to talk about the way that you actually think about spending and how you actually enjoy spending. See, me and Hannah are totally different when it comes to the way that we think about spending and the way that we actually enjoy it. But we've figured out how to use that to our advantage to get the things that we really want. I'm going to show you exactly how we do it so that you can take your thinking about spending and use it to your advantage as well. Alright, so first let me clarify. When I say spending, I'm not talking about all the crap that you have to do in paying your bills. I'm also not talking about buying specific products and how Hannah likes this type of thing and I like that type of thing. I'm talking about the way that you emotionally feel when you spend money on stuff that you really want, the fun stuff spending. So when I spend money on things that I really want and it's fun spending money, I spend a lot of time thinking about the actual product and the deal that I'm getting relative to that product. This totally annoys my wife because I'll spend hours, days, sometimes even months researching the product, making sure that I'm getting the right one, the right value, the right brand, the right everything at the right time, and because that's the way that I want to do it. Getting something on a whim, whether it's a pair of new shoes, or a shirt, or a new camera, or a gadget, or a skateboard, or whatever it is, if I get that just on a whim, like even if I have the money, like even if it's in the budget, I just don't enjoy it. I'm like constantly thinking like, oh, did I get the best one? Like, is this really the best thing? Is this really what I want? Is this what I do? Like I just overthink things. Now, some people may see that as an advantage when it comes to certain things like buying a car or something like that, where you probably should spend a lot of time doing research. Other people think that's probably a disadvantage because you kind of just suck the fun out of everything. But let's not focus on the advantages and the disadvantages right now. Right now, I just want you to understand the way that I really enjoy it. Part of my enjoyment is actually the research phase. Like I really enjoy that part of it. Here's an example. A couple years ago, I decided I wanted to learn how to longboard. I literally spent 4 months from the day that I decided I want to learn how to longboard to the day that I actually bought the thing. I did research on the hardness of the wheels, the bearings I should get, the stickiness, the axles, the camber of the board itself, the shape and style of the board, and how you could ride it this direction or that direction. I spent months researching this and just really going all out looking into this thing. We happened to be going to the beach around that time on a vacation, and I found a really cool longboard that I kind of liked at a beach shop for a really good price. Hannah was like, why don't you just get it? And I was like, nope, I hadn't done enough research yet. She's like, yeah, but you like this one. And I'm like, still, I just, what if it's not the one I want? That's not the way I enjoy doing things. Now in a second, you'll see why for Hannah, that is the way she enjoys doing things. The fun for me isn't just the spending of the money. The emotional way that I feel about spending is I want that lead up to it phase. So that's me. That's the way that I enjoy it. But how does Hannah think about spending? How does she really have fun? Well, like me, Hannah's enjoyment is also not always the product itself. It's part of the experience. The difference is my experience of enjoying the really long process is totally opposite from the way Hannah likes it. Hannah really likes the experience of getting something in the moment or when there's some sort of special occasion or trip tied to it. She really likes spending money on clothing when we just happen to be out for some reason and she happens to run across something that like she really likes and it's like a spontaneous thing. Part of the enjoyment is the ability to purchase spontaneously for her. Now Hannah's also really big on nostalgia, so if we go on vacation just the two of us or if we go on vacation with family, she wants to get something to remember that trip by. That's why when we were at the beach at that longboard shop at the really cool place and there was a really cool longboard and I knew I wanted a longboard, she was like, why in the world would you not get this? This is like the perfect time and you'll always remember the trip by the longboard. She doesn't care if she hasn't done the research to get the best thing. She doesn't care if she hasn't done the research to make sure she's getting the best deal. It's all about the experience and is the price right now relative to the thing that it is? Am I happy with that? As long as I'm happy with that, then all I care about at that point is the experience. That's kind of the way that Hannah thinks. Okay, so why am I telling you all this? Why does any of this matter? Well, it's important to understand the way that you think about spending and the way that you naturally like to spend because there's not a right or a wrong way. There's really great things about being a nerd and researching the heck out of something, and there's also really great things about learning how to enjoy the moment and have fun and be spontaneous. The reason this is important, the reason you should be paying attention to how you think and enjoy spending is twofold. Number one is so that you can set up a budget that actually caters to the way that you like to spend. Having a budget is not supposed to be restrictive and it's not supposed to make your life miserable because you can't spend money. We make a budget that allows for me to buy things on a long time horizon and really enjoy the process. And we also make a budget that allows Hannah to have some money available to where we can do spontaneous things. If we go on vacation, we go ahead and budget a certain amount of money just for buying random stuff while we're there in addition to the vacation expenses, because part of having fun on vacation to Hannah is being able to get something to remember the vacation by. I don't personally like buying stuff on vacation because I'm literally in the gift shop looking at whatever it is, even if I really like it, going like, oh, can I get a better one of these on line? Can I find something better elsewhere? And so we don't budget for me to be able to do that, but we budget for Hannah to be able to do that, and we budget for me to be able to do other things. The second reason that it's important to understand this is because there's pitfalls and there's wrong and bad things that can happen for every style of thinking. As you might imagine, sometimes I can spend way too much time actually thinking something through. Maybe it takes me too long and we actually need it, like a car. Maybe I'm just taking too long and then I end up sucking the fun, which is what happens way more often, out of the experience itself. I have to remember that money is a tool that helps me buy freedom. And if I'm constantly like pandering to the money and really trying to think through and like getting caught up in like the bargain and everything else, then money's not helping me attain that freedom. It's still keeping me captive by it, even if I have it. On the other hand, there's definitely some issues with being spontaneous as well. But one of the real big problems with spontaneous shopping is that you can actually get caught up in the moment and get caught up in the thing, and you can spend money on stuff that you really didn't want in the first place. It was just part of the experience to you. Okay, so that's the way that Hannah and I think about things, and that's the advantages of it and how we can make a budget that helps it, but that's also the disadvantages of it and the things that we each need to watch out for. Now, what I want you to do is really think through, when do you enjoy spending money the most and how do you enjoy spending money the most? And then I want you to think through, what are some pitfalls and maybe some things that you need to watch out for that could get you into trouble? And then also, how could you build a budget to help support that? Remember, personal finance is called personal finance for a reason. It's personal. I want you to figure out what works for you, how you think, how you enjoy it, and then I want you to learn how to set up a budget that can actually help you do those things. That's what this is all about. It's figuring out what works for you and then doing that. All right, so that's it, guys. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, what are you doing? Get on that. I talk about investing and emotional spending and setting up a budget that really works for you and really just making the most with your money so where you can do the things that you actually want to do. Now remember, I can teach you how to think about spending and I can teach you how to set things up that work for you, but I can't make you do it. The choice is yours. I'll see y'all next time.